Well, a little bit of an update as to what Yusa and I have spent the bulk of our time doing since we arrived, following the pretty horrendous flight experience, really down to the time it took. But what I haven't mentioned is before we even left the UK, Yusa's mother was in ICU, and just after we arrived, the reason she was there, she developed a swelling on the brain. They were administering drugs. I think about 3 days after we arrived, it was decided an operation was needed just to relieve the pressure. And Yisa's mother's expected to be released tomorrow, although she's not speaking properly yet. I think it's going to take some time. So what we've been frantically trying to do is get this house into some kind of semblance that it would be okay when she got back, because no money has been spent in this place for years and years. So Yusa and I have done really all the heavy lifting, as essentially we're the ones that have got the money to do it. So all the lounge, everything that's been repainted, cleaned, really tidied up. We've put a little shrine in, we've put some cupboard space in, really just tried to tidy it, just got a TV in at some point. And then what was a bedroom, sort of spent quite a bit of time cleaning it. It was in a terrible state, so even the windows were so dirty, all the glass had to come out to be cleaned. Putting curtains up, put an air purifier system in, painted the whole lot out, and we've got a hospital bed in here now. It's quite an old one, but it'll have to suffice. And then we've got an oxygen supply for when she gets here. Curtains on the inside. It's not ideal, but it is, it's the best we can do. And the outside kitchen, which was a bomb site, we've been out and bought new tables and chairs here. We've bought cabinets so that foodstuffs can be kept away, locked up so the ants aren't all over it. Plumbed in a washing machine, sort of done all the plumbing myself. Quite a pain when all your real tools are still on the way from the UK. I've got everything on the way out here except my sort of car tools, and it just shows what you don't have. I mean, there's a couple of drills I found, electric drills, drilling into concrete here. These aren't plaster walls, these are actually rendered with like concrete cement. So you need a hammer function. First hammer drill I used, hammer function didn't work. I picked up, I've been actually managed to find a hammer drill that did work, and I was knocking some raw plugs in. Picked up the first hammer that came to hand just to tap the raw plug in, swung it back, and the metal end flew off. The wooden handle had shrunk, it flew straight backwards, landed on the ceramic floor. It's just like, you're just sitting there going, does anything work? So I've had to go out and get the bare minimum of tools that I need. Even so much as trying to paint the ceilings. They're very high ceilings here, so I have to just go and buy all the new rollers, everything I can get my hands on. It's not excessively expensive here, but it's just something you've got to do. There's no one else with the resources to do it, so Yusa and I have done it, which is why I've been quiet for the last 2.5 weeks. But if she comes back tomorrow, we're pretty sure she'll come back in an ambulance, because she'll be on oxygen. She'll probably be on a stretcher, and we'll just have to manage it the best way we can. So that's a little side video as to really what I've been doing and why I've been so knackered, because trying to do some sort of painting, decorating, plumbing when it's 34 degrees, you've got an AAC around you, you're not used to it, and within 5 minutes of sort of hard graft, I am just dripping buckets. But you just got to get on with it and get the job done. So anyway, that's where we are now. Yusa's at the hospital with her sister, trying to find out exactly what will happen tomorrow and what we're going to have to purchase additionally to make sure that room's complete. And I'll drop an update on that at some point, but looks more like there could be a happier ending than there was before we even left the UK. Now, a quick addition to the video. I didn't mention the electrical work I had to do in putting up some additional lights in the lounge area, etc., and when we actually put in the washing machine out the back. Now, I'll just show you a few things. This is a typical Thai main socket. This one is just it's 2-pin, and typically you know, it's bi-directional, doesn't matter which way around you put it in. That's typically used for things like your USB chargers. You just pop them in, they're fine, doesn't really make any difference. Then they also have 3-pin sockets. This is actually on upside down, but there you've got your earth center bottom, and then you've got your live and your neutral. They use the same orientation we do. As you look at the back of the plug, the live will be on the right, the brown wire, the blue on the left, and as your neutral, and then you've got your earth. When I actually went to install some new sockets on the wall for the new lights, you know, all I had with me was a neon screwdriver, you know, to check the what I was doing, to make sure what I turned off the mains and whatever things were actually dead when I thought they were dead. And to my absolute horror, I had 2 20 volts on the neutrals, I had 2 20 volts on the lives, and the earths had been chopped. So where somebody had actually done some electrical work previously, I mean, there's RCDs in the actual consumer unit, but they'd wired, you probably can't see it there, it's bad light, but they'd wired all the blue wires to the live and all the brown wires to the neutral, and chopped the earths off. Now that may be okay when you're using a device like this, but you know, I put a washing machine in out there, and you've got water as well, and what on earth somebody was doing. But if I just give you an idea of what some of the wiring is like, or can be like. Now here's just one out that's got the open back. You know, you go up, the wires are twisted together, no idea. You've got the same here. I probably won't be able to see this, but it's all black tape, masking tape over everything. It is a nightmare. So when I was faced with that, it's like, holy shit. You know, I don't really want to be starting electrocuting people. So that was another struggle, something I simply wasn't prepared for. Now, what you don't know is all of this section of the front of Yisa's house that is now sort of carport, a cooking area when Aina 2 used to run the little restaurant here. All of this was a wooden house, and it all burnt down in 1988 because of an electrical fault. You know, and then not only that, it burnt next doors down, which was a wooden house. That one's been rebuilt. That one's there. That's all been rebuilt. And when you see wiring the way, cowboy wouldn't be a strong enough word to say how some of it is done out here, but when you actually see it, you wonder why. Well, first of all, I'm not surprised the bloody house burnt down, you know, but you wonder why there aren't more fires out here, house fires, because I think it's anyone who's thinks they can do it, you know. Oh, my uncle does electrics, or yeah, my brother-in-law's good at that, and get him in to do the job. You know, you are asking for trouble. So anyway, that was another shocker, which I didn't need, but I managed to get to the bottom of all of that. Cheers now.